This is Dolynny TV, and ladies and gentlemen, the Edmonton Oilers are pulling absolutely every single move that none of us thought they would today, but, maybe not. You know where I'm going with that. There's a couple of moves off the board, right? The Alex Chiasson re-signing thing came together late last night, early this morning. Mike Smith was the lock. Marcus Granlund, not exactly a lock, and then you've got the next two signings I shall talk about in this video. Lump them together because the thing is, Tomas Jurco, there's not much to make on him. And Jujhar Khaira, I already explained absolutely almost everything I had to say about Jujhar Khaira when it came to his qualifying offer with the Edmonton Oilers. So for Khaira, good to have him back. You know what? Show and prove. It'll be good for him and see what he can do kind of deal. And hopefully for Tomas Jurco, just AHL depth, a guy who can come up and maybe be something when we need him to be something, and other than that, not be anything too special. But the scary thing is, what we need to get to right here, right now, is indeed the cap numbers. And you look at this, you've got about $4.6 million in cap space left after the Jujhar Khaira signing, which with Tomas Jurco's $750,000 deal as well, you'll have just under, $4 million. So that's scary. But that's exactly what I want to get to, because Jujhar Khaira signed for $1.2 million over the course of the next 2 years. That's a heck of a signing. That is essentially locking up what we need of the roster spot, the guys we like, the guys that get the job done, and get into how it needs to go. So, you look at it, right? Jujhar Khaira, $1.2 million for the next 2 years. Bottom six forward, great. But the thing with Jujhar Khaira, as guys I cautioned in the video when we qualified him and Jesse Puljujärvi, it is as simple as this. This guy had a taste of the top six. He had 3 or 4 games with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins where he looked stupidly good. I mean, stupidly good. And the incredible thing is, of course, it couldn't work. But this guy, I read a tweet via somebody in the AHL saying that Jujhar Khaira is working just stupidly on getting into that top 6 role this year and doing a bang-up job. So essentially, if you're looking at the depth on the wing, right, you'd have Jujhar Khaira, Milan Lucic or Joakim Nygard, Milan Lucic or Joakim Nygard on the 4th line. That would be huge. That would be, you know what, that solves a lot of issues. We've signed Chiasson. Problem is, we still need to figure out what the heck the plan is with that top line spot. You know what, if Chiasson's your second line winger for Nuge and you have Jujhar Khaira and them, that's a great second line. I loved that second line when they played 2 games together this year. Don't get me wrong. Now the issue is finding for that $4 million somebody that can play in that situation. Though now the question is, it's no longer just a question if you're trading Brandon Manning, it's also now a question if you're trading Sam Gagner. I mentioned it in the Alex Chiasson video, I mentioned it in the Marcus Granlund video. His spot is becoming diminished. He is either going to have to come to camp and work his butt off to not get traded during camp, or he's just going to get shipped out of town sometime in the next 2 or 3 days, or maybe 10 seconds from now, when I shut my gums, we'll have a Sam Gagner trade. Well, who knows at this point, and that's the scary thing. So let's get over to kind of breaking down these 2 players. We'll start with Khaira because we know what we have in Jujhar Khaira. Guys, 18 points last year in 60 games played, and then had 21 points in 69 games played the year previous. Those are his 2 big seasons, his 2 full seasons. The guy's put up 42 points in 154 career games. I'd like to have the thing for you here, but you know what, actually I'll bring it up for you, because the other side too is Jujhar Khaira can be a centerman, and he does have some face-off experience. 174 face-off wins in 17-18 Jujhar Khaira. And let me just get Mr. Tomas Jurco as well, and then we'll get discussing everything about him. Tomas Jurco, 4 career years in the NHL. There we go, bang, and bang. Let me get that saved. Tomas Jurco. I'm going to have to ask Thrash94 how to pronounce that one, but we'll get it going here in a second. Jujhar Khaira, the career stats, where he be? He be right there, bang, bang, bang. So Jujhar Khaira, the career stats, let's get to it. Let's get them nice and large for you, and right there. So Jujhar Khaira, right guys, not lying. 18 points last year in 60 games played. There you go, that's the stats. Minus 12, everybody was pretty much a minus on the Oilers, so don't get too worked up in it. And then you've got his, shorthanded efforts. He had a shorthanded goal and a shorthanded assist. So now you wonder if he's going to form a penalty killing unit with his limited shorthanded experience with Mr. Marcus Granlund. That's one to look for, right? Two guys getting paid $2.5 million to form a penalty kill line that could be absolutely deadly. Why not? Both guys. Marcus Granlund not as physical. Jujhar Khaira very friggin' physical. Don't get me wrong there. And you see his time on the ice, 12 minutes. So if you see him up to even a third line role, that should average out to just under 13 minutes on an Oilers team like this, because you know he'll play some penalty kill time if they like what he features early on in camp and early on in the season. So that's Jujhar Khaira. Now let's get over to Tomas Jurco, a man of interest. Who the hell is Tomas Jurco? And I'll explain this. I knew the name. I didn't realize where he was this past season, but he hasn't been very many places in the past season, realistically, other than the AHL. So, started as a 21-year-old in 13-14, had 15 points, 18 points, then went down to 6 points, 1 point, and it's just gotten worse for Tomas Jurco over the years. 10 points in 29 games played with Chicago last year. No NHL experience this past year. So what is this? Guys, what the heck is Ken Holland, a guy who had Tomas Jurco in Detroit back in 13-14, 14-15, 15-16. What in the God's name? Sorry, my nose is very itchy. What is he thinking? What the heck is this? This is exactly the last piece of the puzzle for the Oilers. AHL depth. So this is essentially that guy you'll have in the AHL or on the NHL in case of injuries. I mentioned it with Marcus Granlund. I mentioned it with re-signing Chiasson and Jujhar Khaira and all that, and Mike Smith. It all makes sense where this is going. This is injury prevention at its finest for the Oilers. You can't prevent an injury, but you can plug the hole. And rather than do the mistake that Chiarelli made and trade to plug the hole now in free agency and have those guys in the holster ready to be shot out when it's time to get them into the lineup in case of injury. That's, I think, as easy of an estimation as I can make it. I hope that's as easy and simple as all this is, and there's no complicated scheme where we're trading Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Sam Gagner to Buffalo for this guy or that guy. No, I'm hoping to goodness there isn't. And I haven't heard anything. I'm just throwing out spitball and stupid ideas to get you to realize my point, what I'm trying to do. Damn, that was a good sip of water. But Tomas Jurco, a guy, I don't have much of a scouting report. Not a face-off guy, not a shooting percentage guy by any means. Had those 13.6% shooting percentage, but played 29 games, scored 6 goals, nothing special. So the Oilers get back Jujhar Khaira, add Tomas Jurco, $4 million in cap space, got to trade Brandon Manning, got to do something of some value somewhere at this point now. Brandon Manning, Sam Gagner, clearly on the chopping block as of right now. Those two alone free up just over $5.4 million in cap space. You trade them now that we've done what we've done with this roster, and suddenly you have yourself a very applicable way to apply cap space to find a top 6 forward, whether you give up a first rounder next year or some deal with that Yes Puljujärvi kind of mess. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. What I want you to do right now is I want you to go try and find as much about Tomas Jurco as possible. Give me your thoughts on Jujhar Khaira, because guys, I am very, very confused. The last thought on Jujhar Khaira is, as I said, I'll see if I can find that tweet. Tomas Jurco, all that. Oh, Tomas Jurco. There's the note I was looking for. It popped up right there. Tomas Jurco, off of the reigning Calder Cup champion Charlotte Checkers. He is now signed. They have actually signed a lot of them. Seriously, Scott Darling was on there. Josh Deider, I mean, he's been bought out as Darling. Head coach Mike Vellucci has gone to a different team. Alexi Sorella has gone to Chicago. Patrick Brown to Vegas. Nick Roy to Vegas. And Andrew Potolsky has gone to Anaheim. So guys, that's the interesting note on Tomas Jurco. I knew there was some kind of note. He was a champion of some sort at some point, and there you go. The Charlotte Checkers from this year in the AHL. So Jujhar Khaira, guy can fight. Do we see something on Lucic? That's the other possibility. Guys, I'll leave you with that. Something to chew on. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. We'll get back to it maybe with a 5th video today. Holy crap, we're pumping them out. I will catch you in the next one.